There was a pain in my chest, sharp. In the emergency room, the doctor looked at my test results. His expression changed. "We need to talk." I looked at the paper in his hand. I couldn't understand the numbers, but I understood his face. Something was very wrong. "What have you been taking?" he asked. "What do you mean, what have I been taking?" He held up a bottle. I recognized it immediately. I'd been drinking it every day for 4 months. This is just protein powder." He shook his head. "No, it's not." Then what he said. 4 months. My body, my future, everything. That night at home, searching online, I found something. A name, a news article. 2019. Gym member dies, 29 years old. And I understood. I could have been next. My name is Everett Kane. I'm 31 years old, an accountant in Portland, Oregon. 3 years ago, I joined a gym and hired a personal trainer named Zane. This is the story of how my trainer sold me illegal steroids disguised as supplements, how 4 months destroyed my organs permanently, how a previous client died at age 29, and how I discovered I was just one victim in a $380,000 annual criminal operation. I'd never been an athletic guy. Growing up, I was the kid who got picked last in gym class. As an adult, I worked long hours at an accounting firm, ate badly, and slowly watched my body deteriorate. At 28, I decided to change. I joined Elevate Fitness in downtown Portland. It was one of those boutique gyms, not too big, personal attention, expensive, but worth it. That's where I met Zane Mercer. He was 31 then, muscular, confident, the kind of guy who made fitness look effortless. He approached me on my 3rd visit. "First time working out seriously?" he asked. "That obvious? Everyone starts somewhere." "I'm Zane, personal trainer. Want a free session? See if we're a good fit?" I agreed. That first session was brutal. I could barely finish. But Zane was encouraging, not judgmental. "You've got potential," he said. "Stick with me, we'll transform you." I hired him. 3 sessions a week, $120 per session. Expensive, but I was making good money at the firm. The first year was incredible. Zane taught me proper form, nutrition basics, recovery techniques. I lost 35 pounds, built muscle, felt better than I ever had. But more than that, Zane became a friend. We talked between sets, about life, work, relationships. He knew about my ex-girlfriend, my promotion at work, my dad's health issues. "You're not just my client," he said once. "You're my success story. Look at you. Completely different person." I was proud. For the first time in my life, I felt strong. Year 2, progress continued, but slow. "Plateaus are normal," Zane explained. We adjusted workouts, tweaked nutrition. By year 3, I'd hit a wall. No matter what we tried, I couldn't break through. Muscle growth stalled. Strength gains flatlined. "It's frustrating," I told Zane. "I'm doing everything right." "You are," he agreed. "Sometimes the body just needs a different approach." "Like what?" He hesitated. "Let me think about it. There might be something." 2 weeks later, Zane pulled me aside after a session. "I've been thinking about your plateau. I have an idea, but it's unconventional." "I'm listening." "There's a professional supplement program I recommend to serious clients. Custom stack, pharmaceutical grade, rapid gains. It's what athletes use." "Like what, creatine? Protein?" "More advanced, but completely legal. Medical grade formulations." "How much?" $800 a month. I whistled. That was significant. "And it works?" "Everett, I wouldn't suggest it if I didn't believe in it. I've seen guys break through plateaus in weeks. Explosive growth. You'll finally hit your goals." "Is it safe?" "Totally. Doctor formulated. I've used it myself. Half my clients are on it." I thought about it. $800 was a lot, but I'd already invested 3 years and thousands of dollars. What was a few more months to finally see results? "Let's do it." Zane smiled. "You won't regret this." A week later, Zane brought me a box. Inside were 4 bottles. No professional labels, just handwritten names. Morning stack, pre-workout, post-workout, night formula. "Why aren't there normal labels?" I asked. "These are compounded specifically for you. Custom formulations. The lab doesn't do commercial labeling." It seemed odd, but I trusted Zane. 3 years of trust. The instructions were specific. Morning stack with breakfast, pre-workout 30 minutes before gym, post-workout immediately after, night formula before bed. I started the next day. The results were immediate and dramatic. Week 1, I felt stronger. Lifts I'd struggled with for months suddenly felt easy. Week 2, my body started changing visibly. Muscle mass increasing, definition sharpening. Week 3, I was lifting weights I'd never imagined. My bench press went from 185 to 225 pounds. Week 4, people at the gym started commenting, "Dude, what are you doing? You're exploding." I was ecstatic. Zane was right. This program was incredible, but there were side effects. Week 2, acne appeared on my back and shoulders. Bad acne, like teenage years. Week 3, my mood changed. I felt more aggressive. Small thing, I snapped at coworkers. Week 4, sleep became difficult. I'd lie awake for hours, wired despite exhaustion. I mentioned these to Zane. "Totally normal," he said. "Your body's adjusting. The acne will clear up. The aggression is just increased energy. Channel it into workouts. Sleep will regulate." "You're sure?" "I've seen it 100 times. Push through. The results are worth it." I pushed through. By month 2, the side effects were worse. The acne spread to my chest and face. I started covering up, wearing long sleeves even in warm weather. The mood swings intensified. I had a screaming match with my roommate over dishes. I'd never done that before. My sex drive went haywire, then crashed completely. I couldn't perform, which had never been an issue, and I started sweating excessively. Night sweat so bad I'd wake up in soaked sheets. "Zane, these side effects are getting serious. How are the gains?" "Incredible, but then trust the process. Your body's transforming. There's always an adjustment period." "How long?" "Another month max. Then everything stabilizes." I wanted to believe him. The gains were undeniable. I looked in the mirror and saw someone I'd always wanted to be. So I kept going. Month 3, a Tuesday morning, I was at work, reviewing tax documents, when the chest pain started. Sharp, radiating down my left arm. I tried to ignore it. Probably just muscle strain from yesterday's workout. But it got worse. Tightness, pressure, hard to breathe. My coworker noticed. "Everett, you okay? You look pale." My chest. "I'm calling 911. The ambulance came. EMTs asked questions I could barely answer. They hooked me up to an EKG. At the hospital, a different kind of panic set in. Not just about my health, about what they might find. The ER doctor was in his 50s, Dr. Patterson, experienced and direct. He ran blood tests. EKG checked my vitals. When he came back with results, his expression had changed from concerned to serious. "Mr. Kane, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be honest. What supplements or medications are you taking?" "Just protein powder and a supplement program my trainer put me on." "What's in the program?" "I don't know exactly. Custom formulations." "Why?" He pulled up my lab results on the computer. "Your liver enzymes are dangerously elevated. Your kidney function is declining, and your testosterone levels are 8 times normal." I stared at him. 8 times. "This is consistent with anabolic steroid use. High doses. That's impossible. I don't use steroids, just supplements." "Do you have the bottles?" I did, in my gym bag. I pulled them out. Dr. Patterson took them. "I'm going to have these tested. But Mr. Kane, based on these lab results, you've been taking steroids, probably for months." 2 days later, Dr. Patterson called me back to the hospital. The lab results on Zane's supplements had come back. Morning stack contained dianabol and testosterone enanthet. Pre-workout contained trenbolone and winstrol. Post-workout contained more testosterone and decadurabolin. Night formula contained anadrol and proviron. Every single bottle contained illegal anabolic steroids, powerful ones, in doses that would be considered extreme even among bodybuilders. "These aren't supplements," Dr. Patterson said. "This is a steroid stack that would put professional bodybuilders at risk. And you've been taking it for 3 months?" 4. I just started month 4. His face darkened. "We need to run more tests immediately." Over the next week, I saw specialists, cardiologist, hepatologist, nephrologist, endocrinologist. The damage assessment came in pieces. Liver, early-stage fibrosis, scarring, permanent. Would require lifelong monitoring. Increased risk of liver failure. Kidney function decreased to 60% of normal. Irreversible damage. Would continue to decline with age, possibly requiring dialysis eventually. Heart, early-stage cardiomyopathy, heart muscle damage. Increased risk of arrhythmias, heart attack, sudden cardiac death. Would need medication for life. Endocrine system, testosterone production shut down. Might recover partially, might not. Could require hormone replacement therapy for life. Fertility severely compromised. Psychological, damage to mood regulation. Increased risk of depression, anxiety, aggression. The cardiologist, Dr. Reeves, was blunt. Mr. Kane, you're 31 years old. Based on this damage, your life expectancy has likely decreased by 10 to 15 years. You'll be on medication for the rest of your life. You may never have children naturally, and you'll need constant medical monitoring. I sat there, numb. 4 months, I said. I only took them for 4 months. 4 months of extremely high doses of extremely dangerous compounds. Your trainer put you on a cycle that professional bodybuilders would consider reckless. I confronted Zane at the gym 2 days later. He was with a client. I waited until they finished. Zane, we need to talk. Everett, hey man, haven't seen you at the gym. You gave me steroids. Illegal steroids. You told me they were supplements. His expression shifted, guarded. I don't know what you're talking about. I have lab results. The bottles you gave me contain trenbolone, dianabol, testosterone. Lower your voice. You destroyed my organs. I'm on medication for life. My liver is scarred. My kidneys are failing. You wanted gains. I gave you gains. You chose to take the supplements. I didn't force you. You lied about what they were. Did I? I said they were professional grade. They are. I said athletes use them. They do. You made assumptions. I asked if they were safe. And they are, when used properly with medical supervision. You signed a waiver, remember? Supplements taken at own risk. Legally, you're responsible for what you put in your body. I stared at him. 3 years. I'd trusted him for 3 years. There are other people, aren't there? Other clients you've sold this to? I don't know what you're implying. I'm going to the police. For the first time, Zane looked worried. That would be a mistake. You have no proof that anything I gave you was illegal. Those bottles? No labels. Could have been anything. Could have gotten them anywhere. The lab tested them. Labs make mistakes. Good luck proving where they came from. He walked away. I went home and started searching online. Zane Mercer, Elevate Fitness, Portland. And then I tried something else. Previous gyms, former employers. I found an article from 2019, a gym in Seattle called Peak Performance. Gym member dies following medical emergency. Investigation ongoing. Double asterisk. The member's name was Tyler Ramos, age 29. Cause of death, cardiac arrest during workout. The article mentioned that the gym was cooperating with authorities investigating supplement use among members. I dug deeper, found Tyler's obituary. Then a follow-up article 3 months later. Family of deceased gym member settles with facility. Terms undisclosed. Double asterisk. The gym had settled. And 6 months after Tyler's death, Peak Performance had closed. I searched for Zane Mercer and Peak Performance together. Found his LinkedIn. He'd worked there. 2017 to 2019. He'd left 3 months after Tyler's death. I hired a lawyer, Patricia Holloway, who specialized in personal injury and product liability. Do you have the bottles? She asked. Yes, and lab results showing what's in them. Good, that's evidence. What about the transaction? How did you pay? Venmo, $800 a month for 4 months. Perfect, that's a paper trail. We filed 2 cases, a criminal complaint with the Portland police and a civil suit against Zane for fraud, assault, intentional harm, and negligence. The police were interested, especially when I mentioned the Seattle death. Detective Ramirez took my statement. We'll investigate. If there are other victims, we'll find them. 2 weeks later, Detective Ramirez called me in. We've made progress on your case. And it's bigger than we thought. He showed me a file. 8 other men, ages 26 to 43, all clients of Zane Mercer at Elevate Fit, all with similar stories. Supplement program, $600 to $800 per month. Rapid gains, severe side effects. 3 had been hospitalized. 2 had permanent organ damage. 1 had suffered a minor stroke at age 34. None of them reported it before you, Ramirez said. They were embarrassed, ashamed, thought it was their fault. How did you find them? We interviewed Zane's current and former clients. Once people heard what we were investigating, they came forward. Are there more? We think so. Zane's been doing this for years. We estimate 40 to 50 clients total across 3 gyms, Seattle, Tacoma, and Portland. 40 people? At least. And we think Tyler Ramos in Seattle, the one who died, was one of his victims. The investigation expanded. The DEA got involved because of the controlled substances. They traced Zane's supply chain. He was sourcing steroids from an underground lab in Mexico, then repackaging them in generic bottles labeled as supplements. His markup was staggering. He was buying the steroids for about $150 per month supply, then selling them for $800. With 40-plus clients over several years, investigators estimated his total illegal revenue at over $380,000. But it wasn't just about the money. Zane genuinely seemed to believe he was helping people. In a recorded conversation, he'd agreed to talk to police, thinking he could talk his way out. He said, "These guys wanted results. I gave them results. Was it risky? Sure, but they were adults. They made choices, showed no remorse." The Seattle police reopened Tyler Ramos's case. I spoke with his family. His sister, Maria, was angry and grieving. "We knew something was wrong," she said. "Tyler was acting different those last few months. Aggressive, paranoid, but we thought it was stress from work." "Did he mention his trainer?" "All the time. Zane this, Zane that." He worshipped the guy. Said Zane was transforming his life. Tyler had been on Zane's program for 6 months, much longer than me. The steroids had caused severe cardiomyopathy. His heart had literally been working so hard from the drugs that it had enlarged and weakened. During a workout, doing deadlifts, his heart had given out. He'd collapsed and died before the ambulance arrived. The initial investigation had been inconclusive. Tyler's family suspected steroids, but they couldn't prove where he'd gotten them. The gym had settled quietly to avoid bad publicity. Now, with the new evidence from my case and the other victims, prosecutors were building a case. The trial happened 9 months after my ER visit. Zane was charged with multiple counts: distribution of controlled substances, fraud, reckless endangerment, and, thanks to the Tyler Ramos connection, criminally negligent homicide. I testified. So did 7 other victims. The prosecution presented evidence: lab results from the bottles I'd saved, Venmo payment records from multiple victims, text messages where Zane discussed custom stacks, evidence of his Mexican supplier, medical records showing the damage to victims, Tyler Ramos's autopsy report, now re-examined with new context. Zane's defense was weak. His lawyer argued that clients knew what they were taking, that the term supplements was broad, that there was no proof Zane had explicitly said, "These aren't steroids." The jury didn't buy it. Guilty on all counts. Sentencing: 12 years in federal prison. The civil suit settled. Zane had no significant assets. He'd spent most of his illegal earnings. But the gym, Elevate Fitness, was found partially liable for negligent supervision. The settlement was $320,000. After legal fees, I received $280,000. It felt like nothing compared to what I'd lost. I'm 34 now, 3 years after that ER visit. I take medication every day: enalapril for my heart, statins for cholesterol, supplements for liver support. My kidney function has stabilized at 58%. Not great, but not getting worse. I see doctors regularly: cardiologist every 6 months, hepatologist annually, endocrinologist quarterly. I tried to have children with my girlfriend last year. We went through fertility testing. The results confirmed what the doctors had warned. My testosterone production never fully recovered. We're looking into IVF and sperm donors. I'll never be able to work out intensely again. My heart can't handle it. I do light exercise, walking, swimming, under medical supervision. The psychological impact has been harder than the physical. I spent 3 years building trust with someone who was poisoning me. That breaks something in you. I started speaking publicly about what happened. Local news interviews, online forums, a blog about supplement fraud. The response was overwhelming. Dozens of people reached out with similar stories, not all involving illegal steroids, but all involving trainers or influencers selling dangerous or fake products. I testified before the Oregon State Legislature about supplement regulation, helped draft a bill requiring trainers to disclose any financial interest in products they recommend. It passed. Small victory. I also connected with Tyler Ramos's family. We started a foundation in his name, educating young men about the dangers of performance-enhancing drugs and supplement fraud. Maria told me once, Tyler would be alive if he'd known the truth. If someone had warned him. Maybe your story will save someone else. I hope so. Through the criminal case, I learned more about Zane. He'd been a college athlete, football, Division III, injured his knee junior year, lost his scholarship, started using steroids to try to recover, got addicted to the results. After college, he couldn't let go of the gym lifestyle. Became a trainer. Started selling steroids to clients, rationalizing it as helping them achieve their goals faster. By the time he got to me, he'd been doing it for nearly a decade. A psychologist who evaluated him said he had a narcissistic personality disorder. He genuinely believed he was superior, that he knew better than doctors, that the ends justified the means. He's eligible for parole in 2033. He'll be 45. I don't know if he's changed. I don't particularly care. What happened to me isn't unique. It's a symptom of a larger problem in gym culture. The pressure to look a certain way. The worship of extreme physiques. The influencers selling products they don't believe in. The coaches with no real qualifications. And underneath it all, the steroids. They're everywhere. More common than most people realize. Studies estimate that 3 to 4 million Americans have used anabolic steroids. Many bought them from trainers, online dealers, or supplement companies that are really just fronts for illegal drug operations. The FDA and DEA try to crack down, but it's whack-a-mole. Shut down one supplier, another pops up. And the victims, like me, like Tyler, like the others, we're often too ashamed to come forward until it's too late. If you're reading this, or hearing my story, here's what I want you to know. If a trainer offers you a professional supplement program with vague ingredients and no proper labeling, walk away. If someone promises rapid gains that seem too good to be true, they are. If you start experiencing severe side effects, so when someone tells you to push through, stop immediately and see a doctor. Your health is not worth shortcuts. I learned that lesson at 31. 4 months cost me 10 to 15 years of life expectancy, my fertility, my organ function, and nearly $50,000 in medical bills, even after the settlement. Tyler Ramos learned it at 29. It cost him his life. Don't be next. Sometimes I think about who I was 3 years ago. The guy who wanted to look better, feel stronger, be more confident. I achieved all of that. For about 3 months, I was the strongest I'd ever been. And then I almost died. And then I learned my body would never fully recover. Was it worth it? Number. Not even close. I'd give back every pound of muscle, every compliment, every moment of feeling strong if I could have my health back. But I can't. The damage is permanent. So instead, I try to make meaning from it. Warn others. Change laws. Support victims. It's not enough, but it's something. I still work as an accountant. I'm good at my job. My health issues haven't prevented me from having a career. I'm in a relationship. She knows everything. The steroids, the health issues, the fertility problems. She loves me anyway. We're looking into adoption, maybe fostering. There are ways to build a family beyond biology. I exercise lightly. I eat well. I take my medications. I see my doctors. And I try not to think too much about what could have been. 3 years ago, I trusted someone, a friend, a professional, someone who was supposed to help me. He nearly killed me. He did kill someone else, and he did it for money. $380,000 over several years. That's what my health was worth to him. That's what Tyler's life was worth. The gym where it happened closed last year. Elevate Fitness couldn't survive the scandal. Zane is in federal prison. Tyler is gone, and I'm here. Alive, but damaged. Some days, I'm angry. At Zane, at myself for trusting him, at a system that allowed this to happen. Other days, I'm just grateful to be alive, to have caught it when I did, to have survived when Tyler didn't. I'm 34 years old. I take 8 pills every morning. I'll probably need dialysis in my 50s. I might not see 60. But I'm here, and I'm telling this story so that maybe, just maybe, someone else won't have to. If you're working with a trainer, ask questions. Demand transparency. Don't trust blindly. Your life might depend on it. Mine did.